Hi there, welcome back. I am waiting for my stock to continue simmering so I can move along with my soup for tonight's dinner, which is going to be a tortilla soup, one of my favorites, using all the fresh corn that I have and tomatoes and all sorts of other farm market produce that is going to be fabulous. And in the meantime, I'm working on making a homemade vegetable mix that I'm going to be using in Bloody Marys later. Obviously, you can use it in a Virgin Mary as well. And it's actually pretty easy to make. So what I've done is I cut up a whole bunch of tomatoes in addition to a number of vegetables and then just brought them up to a boil in a pot that you'll see over here, and they're now simmering. And what is in here are a number of large just field tomatoes. They do have to be very, very ripe because you want them to be very sweet. You're going to be drinking them later, obviously. And in addition, we have carrots, celery, a little bit of red pepper, the carrot tops that I was talking about earlier, as well as the celery fronds, those wonderful celery leaves, in addition to some parsley, a little bit of Tabasco, and a little bit of crushed black pepper, because we like spicy Bloody Mary. So that's what I'm going with for that. It's starting to really look like vegetable juice, actually. And remember, we're going to puree it later, so obviously right now it looks a little bit soupy, but we're just trying to bring everything together. And just one note about this, I love tomato juice as well, but I'm making vegetable juice. I find it doesn't really make a significant difference in the flavor, and the more vegetables you add, the more nutrients you're getting, right? So the more broadly you eat across the food supply, especially among vegetables, the more nutrients you're going to get. So go ahead, if you do like it, I encourage you to use vegetable juice. And the good thing is that I have about 12 or so minutes left while these things are coming together. My stock continues to simmer, my Bloody Mary mix continues to simmer, and I can get started on prepping the vegetables for the tortilla soup because I want to get started on dinner. So I will see you shortly. Hi there, I am finishing the process of making my homemade vegetable juice mix for the Bloody Marys that I'm going to be making, I don't know, soon as this is chilled. And I wanted to get this on video because it's actually a very exciting process. What I did was, come over here if you can, I'm in the middle of it, but I'll tell you what happened. So we had that mixture that you saw in the previous video or clip on the stove. It just sort of looked soupy, right? And what happened is after that I put it in the food processor and I got that all going. It was very, very thick, so I added some water, and that worked out well too. By the way, this is very spicy, and I do like spicy Bloody Marys, but I might say that as I was doing this, I had this thought too. Only add a tiny bit, because you can always add that later, the Tabasco, right? So it's going to be great, especially once some vodka is added, but it is very spicy. So the reason I'm showing you all this is because I put this over a colander. If you had a food sieve, that would be best, but this is working just fine. And so you can see what I'm just doing. Come on over here. What you can see is I'm kind of making a manual food sieve. So I started with a huge vat of all those pureed vegetables. All I've been doing is going back and forth, getting the juice through the colander, and you are going to see what it looks like underneath, because now it's really looking like tomato juice, or vegetable juice in this case. Ooh, and speaking of which, a major ingredient that I cannot believe I forgot to tell you about is onions. That's a pretty major ingredient, because basically if you were just making tomato juice, it would be sort of tomato, onions, maybe some celery, and some of those celery fronds. Anyway, come over here and see what's happening at the bottom. Voila! Looking like vegetable juice. So the other thing I wanted to mention is that, so I was feeling sad because what am I going to do with this, right? It's sort of like with your vegetable stock, that's different because all the nutrients have been exuded in flavor, so you have to get rid of those. But here, this is really, really flavorful because this was all of our vegetables. So I'm going to save it, and I have a number of things in mind for it. Possibly putting it as a dollop the tortilla soup would be really fabulous flavors, or I might just use it to thicken up the soup, something like that. I'm not sure, because eventually you're going to have some left. But that having been said, it's amazing how much liquid this did exude, because this started full. So again, look at our juice there. So right now I am going to just finish off this process, and then I'm going to put this over a bowl of ice, or possibly in the freezer to increase the cooling time, so that I'm going to be ready for my Bloody Marys, I don't know, soon, hopefully. All right, thank you. We'll see you later.